Hello internet passers-by, welcome back to Napcast. I am your host, Notorious, and as always joining me today are Sean and Melina.
Hi.
Hello.
I said host again and I stopped saying that before because I'm not a host.
Who
You
cares?
can't be the host. It's okay.
No.
We don't care. I didn't even realize it until you said it.
We had a full conversation on the podcast about how none of us are hosts or co-hosts.
We are all co-hosts.
We're here.
Yeah. It's
Look,
just
my resume
us.
says co-host.
Exactly. Put it on the CV.
It is.
I'm going to put it on the CV when I have to update mine.
Same.
So yeah, we've been away for, well, the last time we recorded together was November.
Really? Was
Yeah,
it early
so
December?
No, we didn't
No.
record in
Jeez.
December.
It was late
Oh, yeah, we
November.
wanted-
Late
We
November.
wanted to have Christmas off.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I mean, no break in our upload schedule. We've kind of
on
managed to.
On your side, there wasn't a break, but for us, there was a
No.
huge
Oh, there
break.
was.
Oh, yeah.
We recorded at the end of November, but I didn't edit those episodes until the middle of January.
Which is fair because, Christmas. It
Yeah.
happened.
Christmas,
We wanted
yeah.
that.
Merry
So
Christmas.
that was weird.
I'd like Christmas again now, please.
Yes.
Yes.
I think the only time we missed was like the week of New Year, but
People were busy.
people were
Yeah,
busy.
yeah. You
Didn't
could-
want to.
I think they can forgive us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it would have came out the 30th, and I was like, yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't really have anything particular we're gonna talk about.
This is one of those episodes where we didn't go in with a topic,
No,
so we don't know
didn't.
where we're gonna go.
How was your guys' break? What did you get up to? Anything interesting or?
Every interesting thing I've ever done has suddenly just escaped my mind.
Yeah.
Lena, I feel like you always have something you can.
I got a job.
You got a job. That's
Yeah,
right.
you got a job.
Yeah. No longer lazy as before.
I'm the only leech here
Yeah. You're
now.
Yeah.
the only leech here.
Yay.
So I got a job. It's relaxing,
Hmm.
and I've been enjoying relaxing while making money. So
Yes.
that's nice.
Your job is amazing.
I know, right? Yeah, it's so weird. I talked to
Do you have an
someone-
opening?
I don't know if we do.
Oh shit.
Oh, do you want a job?
How much does it pay?
Oh, God, I think $9.80 an hour.
Shit,
I'm gonna
that's
be
less
honest,
than I
At this
earn right
at
now.
this point, I don't care as long as I get something. I might. We'll see. We'll discuss
We'll
later.
discuss later.
Yeah, let's discuss that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because it's very weird. I talked to some classmates of mine about it because a friend of mine worked there. Was like, hey, we have an opening. Come by, because I just told him that I applied somewhere and never heard back. And I just kind of very formally emailed like, hey, I have heard from so-and-so. I'd love to come in for like an interview. She was like, yeah, I have some other applicants coming in. Come then. And I showed up and she was like, here's your contract.
Wow.
Oh wow.
There was nothing on this contract except for what's your name, address, and bank details.
That's not a contract. That's just the sign up form.
Yeah.
So
Application.
I was also like, so is this for like the trial period? She was like, oh, nah.
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 And then my classmate just showed up for a shift and took like me and the other applicant around for like, this is all you gotta do. And that's it. And I asked like, are we supposed to do the first shift like on our own? He's like, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
If you want.
the greatest amount of confidence there.
Yeah. So that was fun. I even asked like the boss, and I was like, so the first shift we're already supposed to know what the fuck we're supposed to do. He's like, oh, yeah, you just do that, and you'll be fine.
The way you're describing this, it kind of sounds like this is a front for something.
It does,
Yeah, I know, right? It sometimes feels like it. So
Oh. You're gonna go into
great.
like a basement or whatever, and you're just gonna see mountains and mountains of white powder.
huh. It's not my job to ask questions. It's my job.
I'm gonna assume this is sugar.
Yeah, I'll just clean.
Close the door.
That's the thing now. If you're not working for like an established like company or like a chain type place, you always like feel like you're getting you're getting away with a little too much.
Yeah, I was very honest, like, to the lady that owns the hotel. I was like, hey, look, I go home for the summer for a bit, and I also go see my boyfriend's family. Is that a problem? I'm willing to, work extra days. She's like, oh, no, don't worry. We'll figure something out. I'm like, oh. It's like,
Sweet.
I get like a certain amount of holidays I can take at work, and if I can't get those, I have to just take them where I can get them.
Oh God. See, that's what I thought it would be like, and no, apparently not, because I asked to have the day before my birthday off, because my birthday falls on a Monday. I was supposed to work. I usually work Friday, Saturday, Sundays, so I was like, hey, can I have the Sunday off? My family was supposed to come, and I let her know, I think last week, so that was end of January.
End of January, yeah.
End of January. I was like, hey, can I just have the 19th of February off? And she was like, wow, you're early. Like,
what?
She was like, oh, you let me know very early, so I can definitely make that happen. I'm like, this is like, I usually had like 4 weeks minimum.
Yeah.
I had to tell, because I've worked at like a bakery before that was inside a chain supermarket, so it was all very much, this is the days you have so many days off, yada yada yada.
I get 5.5 weeks holiday of my contract.
That's pretty nice.
It's good, but because I work in a department of 40 or 50 people, you are lucky if you can get somewhere.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because the traditional breakdown of it is you take a week somewhere in spring-ish, 2 weeks in summer, a week somewhere else if you're choosing in winter or whatever.
Yeah.
And trying to get summer, you need to be like 2 or 3 years in advance.
Yeah. But it's too chill almost, and like the lady owns it, she's very nice, and sometimes a bit to the point, to in a way kind of rude, but she pays me. I agree with her. So.
Yeah. She
know that?
the boss.
Yeah, she the boss. It's like, oh, that customer, so rude. They asked for something totally reasonable. How dare they? How dare they?
Fucking arseholes.
It's me. That is me.
Fucking arsehole.
This person has asked me a very standard question. I am now annoyed.
I don't think I've worked there long enough. And also, like, I do the least I can do. I check people in. I check people out. That's it. They have a question. We have to say, like, if you have any questions, we're here 24/7. So
don't come
feel
to me.
free to ask.
There are things we are meant to say to people when we're serving. There's things we're meant to do if people come up and ask, and I just
fuck it.
Don't. If someone asks, you're meant to tell them where it is and offer to take them.
Yeah, fuck
I'll
that.
tell them and just leave them. Or if I think I know where it is, but directions are complicated, I'm taking them.
Yeah.
At the end, we're meant to ask, do you have a rewards app? I don't. Fuck that.
They'll say if they do.
Yeah.
That's,
Some customers get annoyed if they're like, oh, you didn't remind me. And I'm just like, woman,
it's not my fucking
that
job.
is your problem.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I'm not your personal reminder person.
Yeah. But people are usually nice. It's always the older people that are assholes. And they're like, this isn't right. This isn't this. I'm like, I'm paying for this. I'm like, you pay very little for this. I know exactly how much you paid.
I work here. I know how much it costs.
Like, we had a lady complain so much to a point where my boss, she handed me an envelope. Here's like half a refund for a room, which she checks out, hand it to her, and tell her it's like without cause or something. So it cannot be connected to, because she complained she got money.
Oh, okay. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, this feels like a fucking scam. But yeah, you hand it to her. This was the same lady that came to me who was like, sorry, I just went to the bank to withdraw money, and they gave me this bill that was like, part of it was sliced off. So I'm assuming you couldn't use it. She was like, could you change it for me? I'm like, we are a cashless hotel. I'm sorry. She's like, well, can you go to the bank tomorrow? It's like,
no. You go and do it.
Because she was leaving early the morning after, and the banks were closed at this point.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what time of day was it?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry, but like, I
can't do that.
Help you. She was like, what if I give it to you and you like refund me £10? I'm like, no, then I'm still stuck with it.
How much of the note was missing?
Only like a small bit of the corner was. Like, it was definitely a clean slice off. It wasn't like it was broken.
So here's how UK money works. As long as the serial number is intact, it doesn't matter how much of it is fucked up. It's still legal tender.
Yeah, see, I don't know shit like this. Like, I was asked last week, do you have any coins with the king on it? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
To be fair, I didn't know that until now either. And I live here. So.
I only had to figure that out because of obviously the store I work in, and we have self-service machines, and obviously those don't accept notes that are fucked up, but the general question is, well, what can we do about it? And you ask, I had to ask a manager over lockdown because many customers would get heated over this.
Of course.
Because if Ivers are designed to be more durable, and yet I don't think they are. Like, I look at some of those motherfuckers that come in, and Jesus, they have seen war. But yeah, as long as the serial number I think is intact, it's grand to be taken.
Great. I still wouldn't
So
fucking
now
take
you
it.
know. Well, no,
Yeah.
of course, but you can say, I'll just go to a store
Yeah, and they'll exchange it for
and they'll
you.
exchange it for you.
Yeah.
Because it's just the entitlement that people come to you. It's like, can you do it for me? I was like,
Yeah.
no.
One of our machines gave an Irish £10 out to a customer once, and they were like, can you change this for a real? And I'm like, motherfucker. She's like, oh, I need it for my daughter's lunch money tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, they'll take it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just from Ireland. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't see them much very often, but it's
No, they're real.
Still legal tender.
It's still legal tender.
It's not
as much
unicorn
as-
money.
Yeah, as much as the Scottish or the English notes are.
God.
You get some people who are going down to England that ask you to exchange Scottish notes for English ones for them.
Why?
Because apparently down in England sometimes they don't take Scottish.
It happens because my mum had to do that a couple of times because we've actually been down in England a few times and they won't accept.
I find that interesting, especially now that we've moved to the more secure money, like the polymer-based
Yeah.
notes, which are
Plastic notes.
plastic notes, which look more authentic
Yeah.
in general. The Irish one did look a bit weird because it was very green.
Well, that makes sense.
Because I remember
Yeah.
looking at it at first and kind of flicking it around going, what the fuck is it? Because unlike
Shiny.
unlike Scottish and Irish Scottish and English ones, it wasn't like clear what the denomination of it was at first. So I
okay.
was like,
What the fuck is this?
and I seen Bank of Ireland and went, women, it is real. It's just like, she was like, oh, they'll take it. And I'm like, yeah. She was like, well, can I come back and exchange it if they don't? And I'm like, sure, but they're going
I
to
don't
take
care.
it.
They're gonna take it,
It's
yeah.
like, by all means, come
Yeah.
right back.
Yeah.
I was like,
prove me wrong.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just not going to do something so inconvenient because you think it's not real when it is.
Yeah, God. That's
It's real money.
Yep.
real money right there. Yeah. But money's always fun when people, because we get people that haven't paid yet and have to pay on the spot. So I had to learn how to use a card reader because I'd never learned.
Oh, do you have ones where you've got to kind of like punch in the price and
Yeah.
then get them to... Yeah, luckily we
Yeah.
don't have to do that.
But we also have people who don't know how fucking bank cards work and then get mad at us.
Oh, God.
So we had these two, like, they were fairly young girls, like, I'm gonna say mid-20s, maybe early 20s. And then our system was like, hey, you've only paid half, so you have to pay the rest. And I think it was me that checked them in. And we always tell them to check it, hey, do you want to settle this now? You can settle it later. If you want to wait, it's totally fine. Just make sure you go
For
check it.
context, are they from the UK or are they...
No.
No, okay.
Okay.
Nordic.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
not, yeah. And so spoke good English, we could understand each other just fine. And they were like, no, we paid already. You took too much money from our account. Even wanted to talk to you about it. I was like, that's weird. I had just been working like a week and a half at this point. So it was like, I'll have a word with my boss about it.
Yeah, I'll call the manager. Help.
She lives there, so it's legit me texting her, help me. She's there in like a minute. But I let them go on their way because, people are on holiday. You don't want to bother them with a shit like this. And so for some reason, we couldn't charge the full amount. I don't know why, but it came down as reserved. It's semi been taken from their account, but it will get given back once it's processed.
What?
Okay, so the only way I can think of this is like how we have pending transaction.
It
Yeah,
was like
that's-
pending, because
yeah.
in Dutch, we would also say it's reserved.
Uh-huh.
So it's the same as pending. And because my boss, she 7 times tried to charge them for this. They had 7 pendings of the same amount. And because when something's pending, it lowers your spending
Yeah,
amount.
it does.
Yeah.
I was like, it's very bothersome, I know, but we need the rest.
Yeah,
Still.
it needs to go through because that pending, sure, it looks like it's being taken, but in a
It's
couple of
not.
days, if it's not gone through, like on whoever you're paying, whether it's your hotel or store or whatever, if we don't get a receipt
we can't.
It's not a complete transaction.
Yeah.
It's not.
You don't take it.
You've not paid for it, so that money will go back in.
Yeah,
that charge
yeah.
will drop off in
Exactly.
2 days.
Yeah. So that was a mess trying to figure out. Because I had to say, look, reserve means pending, which means I know it's very annoying now, but we just need it now. And they wouldn't budge, really. They said, oh, we've had this before. We called our lawyers. I'm like, oh
Call
my
your
God.
fucking bank. They can deal with it.
Yeah, and I was like, look, we haven't gotten your money yet. It's all with, like, whoever you book through. We don't get it until you probably leave.
Yeah.
So they had to call, I think it was like fucking booking.com or something. And they're like, they're so unhelpful. I was like, yeah, so annoying.
That's not my problem.
Yeah, did you figure it out? No, okay, great, fucking great. So what I think my boss ended up doing is you can virtually charge cards with a card reader. Because what we... Yeah, I know.
Wow, I didn't know that, Melina. Thanks for the info.
No, it's like you put in their card details manually, and then you just charge it.
Oh, okay. I know. I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It has a specific code
Yeah,
or some
because
shit.
there's a couple of takeaways here that have like a card reader, but if you phone them up,
And tell them your details.
Yeah,
That's what
you
they'll do.
can- yeah.
Okay.
So I think in the end we did that, and for some reason that worked. Because before we can just charge the card they put in, and that's what we did through like booking.com.
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah.
it wouldn't work, and it fucking worked. And they still were pissed. It's like, well, we still need a refund for all that money, and we were like,
You're getting
call
it
us in
back.
2 weeks.
yeah, because it'll have fucking gone back in by that point.
Yeah, so it's shit like that where like I know you haven't experienced it before, but apparently they had with a different hotel, and they called their fucking lawyers on them. And I was so close to saying, look, if this has happened twice, it's
Stop.
probably on you.
Yeah.
But you can't say that.
No, you can't tell the person they are wrong, unfortunately.
You are a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I had a similar experience with someone in pending transactions to the point that I told them 5 different times, it's a pending transaction, it'll drop off. I had to get a manager, and by the time the manager came down, the pending transactions had dropped off, and they just paid for it again on their own card because it was their daughter's card.
Oh, I feel like...
Yeah, I
I've-
think you mentioned it. Yeah.
Told you this because it's one of the times I've been the angriest at work because of the way this woman spoke to me. She was buying a trampoline and her daughter was paying for it on her card.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't, done contactless. It didn't work. Put the pin in. It didn't go through. The woman was adamant that because it was showing up on the banking app as a pending transaction, she had bought it. And I'm like, you don't have a receipt. It's still on our till.
Yeah.
It's not finished. I was
Yeah.
like, once you go home, that money will go back on that card and
Yeah.
you will have committed theft. And I told her that in as many different ways as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And she was not having it. She was very rude. I was like, it was trying to get across, I've dealt with this so many times before.
I know, my shit.
Yeah, I was like, if it doesn't, by some fucking miracle,
Call us and we'll refund
yeah,
you.
exactly. Call or the number for the higher part of the company. They will refund it. Blah blah blah. And yeah, by the time I went and got the manager, at which point I had to go up to our customer service desk and ask for them to be shouted down to the front of the store. And at which point I had to go, give me a minute because I'm very angry. I was like, okay. And then we got back and it had dropped off and she just paid with her own card. And I'm like,
That's all you need to fucking do.
God. People, yeah. The joys.
yeah.
But yeah, working's fun.
It is.
Sounds fun.
It's
I like how
fun.
you both looked at me like that as you
Yeah,
said
Sean.
that.
You
It's
should
fun
work.
working when in a store, a retail store that sells fireworks at that time of year.
Oh, I
like
can
when
imagine,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
sell
Yeah,
fireworks. Because one night, so in Scotland, the current laws, you can only sell them between 7 a.m. and 6. And after that, can't buy them. I think, and we only have like set times now where you're allowed to set them off at night. It's like 10 or 11, and then on like the actual 5th of November, it's slightly later. But not that anyone pays attention to that anyway. But anyway, we're, I'm up on the customer service desk and the fireworks are kind of like right as you come in the door, and I'm, helping someone with something up at the desk. And a woman comes in and there's kind of a bit of a queue. We're up at the service desk because we're trying to deal with some stuff. And this woman's just sort of looking around, and suddenly she just turns around and goes, "Does anybody fucking work here?" And we're just like,
oh my god.
what? And the person that was on the service desk was just kind of turned and looked at me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm dealing with this. And I was
with
like,
your best smile, it's like, hi, how
like,
can I help you?
I was like, sorry, what? She's like, does anybody work here?
Like looking
yeah.
at
You
your
see
uniform.
this Greg's?
Yeah,
You
looking
see
at
this
the
Greg's supermarket.
very particularly coloured polo shirt that I'm wearing, like, yeah. She's like, I want fireworks. And she's standing in front of a cabinet that has "This is closed" on it.
It is almost comedically framed.
Yes. She's standing right next to it, and I just look at it and look at her and go, it's 7:30. You're an hour and a half late.
You ain't getting fireworks.
She's like, I came from the next town over. And I'm like, I don't care.
Your point, lady.
Okay, cool. What does that have to do with me?
And it's this point, I'm like, don't tell her that you can clearly tell she's intoxicated and you wouldn't serve her anyway. Don't tell her that. Don't tell her that.
That's gonna make it worse.
It's going to make
Oh,
it
yeah.
worse.
How did she get from the town over?
She got a taxi. So she didn't get a bus, which there is a bus that takes you from the next town directly to the store. She got in a taxi,
She's too good for the
which means she's been to another store. They've told her we're not selling fireworks because it's after the time, and she's come to our store.
There's a lot of red going on there.
If you want to try your luck with these things, go to like non-chains.
Go to corner stores. Go to the
Yeah.
smaller ones.
Like chains they have to follow laws, and they can be in
Yes,
so much fucking trouble. Because if one store does it, then all of them will at least be like fucking investigated.
Yeah,
or
If
some
I
shit.
were to sell that, which I don't think our system would even allow it, because I think like alcohol, after a certain time,
It can't be scanned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll scan it and be like,
Nope.
no.
Nah.
But even if I did, I would be personally accountable. I have a sign-on for the checkout machine. I need to, when we're selling fireworks, we need to log how many we've sold. So I need to log that I've sold that. And if it's logged after that point in time, I'm screwed. I'm fired at best.
Yeah.
Not to mention I could be charged for that. Yeah.
It's, the common sense bit. That's
Yeah, no one
sometimes.
has fucking common sense when they walk into a store, though. That's the thing. They leave it when they walk in the door.
Yeah, they leave it at the door.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, we're not going to talk about work the entire time.
No, Sean, say something.
No. Actually, there is something I want to ask. How are your, is it croissants that you were making?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God! Now I have to. Make
If you
this
want to talk
publicly
about
known.
that, it's fine.
This is a
So-
whole
It's
thing.
something I've only just remembered I haven't asked about like this morning.
Yeah. So for like a solid 3 weeks, almost month, I have been obsessed
with croissants.
with a specific type of croissants.
Croissant.
croissants.
Thank you.
We're gonna do this
It's
every
fine.
time.
It's fine. It's gonna make this bit so much better. So it's called what some call a supreme croissant. And it came from the Lafayette Bakery in New York, who are famously known for
Sorry.
croissants.
Croissant.
And it's like a circular croissant.
Croissant.
Continue. This is great batch.
At some point, you gotta stop, and we're just gonna have to have like the sound effect, and you've got to edit it in.
Just be laughing and croissant. So yeah, I obsessed over these and was like, I have to make them. Bakery in Edinburgh starts doing it. I'm like, it's very tempting. But they keep selling out very early, and I don't live particularly close to it, so I didn't want to go there for 8 a.m. to
Yeah.
stand there. So I was like, I'ma fucking make them. So this was the day after I had a very fun talk with my doctor about anxiety.
Oh.
Maybe that's why my brain was like, we must create the thing we've craved. Which was the croissant.
Croissant.
Thank you. And thus, I cannot make croissant dough myself.
Croissant.
Thank you.
You don't have to say thank you every time.
No,
Robbie.
it feels
we appreciate
appropriate.
it.
So I can't make the dough myself. So I did my little research, as one does. I first want to mention, within this hyperfixation of mine, I bought all the things I needed to make it.
Truly a hyperfixation.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I had to do my research at what types of
Croissant.
dough my local Tesco sells. Because, you can buy croissant dough from like a tin.
Yeah.
But it comes like pre-perforated in like little, triangles basically.
Yeah.
But they also have pain au chocolat dough. And that comes in like strips.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I bought that and then rolled 3 pain au chocolat worth of croissant. Rolled it into like a little slug shape to describe it best. I don't know.
You made Gary the snail.
Yeah.
Carrot snail.
Wow.
And I don't know how I fucking managed to do it because there was no tutorial to follow. It had the time on the box, like put it in for 12 minutes. I'm like, yeah, that's if you bake 6 individual pain au chocolats, but I'm making 2 fucking croissants.
Croissant.
So I just put them in for 12 minutes. I'm like, they're not cooked. Just keep them in for longer until they're burnt.
Yeah, the picture you sent, they looked good, but they looked a bit overcooked.
But every single one you see is kind of that color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So I think it's just, you have to kind of overbake it. It tasted fine. It didn't take over. Maybe extra crunchy if you like it. And so
Not really the signification to me that it's a good class.
I think a good croissant needs to be crispy.
Croissant.
To me, look, this is an ongoing argument I've had with my boyfriend because Italian croissants are kind of different. They're more soft.
Croissant.
They're like soft in texture, and the way we do it, like back home, maybe it's a French style for all I fucking know.
I was going to say, I think the ones that I normally get,
They're flaky and they crunch a bit.
well, it depends. Some I get are nice and light and fluffy, and other ones are kind of flaky.
Yeah, because like I know they get flaky when they're straight from the oven, but there's also versions that don't flake and they're more soft.
Yeah.
The Italian version's more soft. I don't like it as much.
Okay. I normally eat ones that have like chocolate filling or something like that, though.
Yeah. Maybe make them soft. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
So I made my croissants.
Croissant.
But I didn't think I'd do it, so I didn't buy any fillings or decorations for them. So,
That explains the just very much there picture you sent us.
so I just made them and I was like, well, that worked. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. And I'm very tempted to do it again.
If you do it again, we're recording in like a couple of weeks again. Bring some.
Yeah.
Look, there's 3 pain au chocolats worth.
I'll buy the fucking dough then.
Yeah. Make it here.
Look out for social media where I will post my tutorial how to make them.
Like your
Not
social-
from scratch, because fuck that shit.
Today I wanted a croissant.
But not just any croissant. I want the supreme croissant.
Croissant.
And thus I made the supreme croissant.
Croissant.
Thank you for listening.
Oh my god.
Well, we know what we're naming this episode.
Croissant.
Tales of Croissant.
The one about croissants. Croissant.
Yeah. You gotta get it in like brackets
Yeah.
or something.
But yeah, it was almost like, when you've been looking forward to something so much that it doesn't feel real. That's how I ate my croissant. I just kind of sat there. I was like, I did it. I've succeeded. Everything I've been thinking about for the past 3 weeks, and I've done it. And it's like weirdly enough, the most pride I've felt in a long time.
Yeah, you sounded very proud.
Yeah.
It was more a combination of shock and pride, because I was legit thinking I'm gonna fuck this up, and like my boyfriend's gonna be like, I told you so, it's never gonna work.
Nice to see that he's supportive.
Yeah, you suck.
He was like, look, I don't think it's gonna work, but we're gonna try. And he was like updating his sister's pastry, like baking as well.
Oh yeah, because you mentioned you had asked her about it.
Yeah. And when we were finished, he also sent her a video. He was like, I don't know how she fucking did it, but they're here. Like, so he's very supportive.
Yeah. Nice to see he has faith in you.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But it was just, it felt like, oh, this is so fucking sad. It was a surreal moment almost.
It is a little bit sad.
Tiny bit.
Because I was so aware of like, I don't know why I'm so like feeling this way about this because it's a fucking croissant.
Croissant.
But they made me feel feelings I've not felt in a long time.
Oh. Why did you describe it like that?
To set the scene.
I don't want to say anything else.
No, thanks.
We include that in the Valentine's episode.
Wait, hold on. No, don't change.
What are you doing?
Why are we touching the board?
Yeah, we don't touch the board during the recording. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Croissant.
Oh, if only you did this earlier.
I know, I totally forgot.
We'd be doing that every time.
I just seen the number and I was like, shit!
But yeah, that's the journey of me and my croissant.
It's echo.
It reverberates
it's such
so
a
much.
long echo. Jesus Christ.
Hold on. What if I turn it all the way up?
Oh my god.
Croissant.
That's a long cave.
God, that's spooky.
Oh my god. Am I in the cave?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
It's very loud.
Get out of there.
Get everyone out of there. Jesus Christ. It's like you put a vacuum at the space that pulled us into your cave. Jesus Christ.
Fucking airlock opened.
Croissant. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off.
But yeah, there was a weird moment in my time. Could I have spent it doing better things? Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, you know what happens.
Yeah.
I can't exactly say I've spent. That's productive, I'd say. You got something. No. You got something out of that though that you could eat.
Yes.
My voice now sounds weird to me because of that effect.
Just work
Put
through
it
it.
back.
Just work
It's
through
more
it.
natural.
It's back to normal.
Just be the ghostly version of yourself.
I spent most of the time that we weren't doing this playing video games or watching TV.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything like that. I didn't gain anything.
I'll be honest, as I was listening to this, I was trying to think of anything I've done over this break, and I've done fuck all.
I got a new keyboard. That's kind of it.
Wow.
Unless we want to talk about Addiewell.
Oh yeah, we went to prison.
Yeah,
which
we went to
I don't
prison.
think we've mentioned on the podcast yet.
No,
Tell
we
me about
went
the
to
time.
prison.
We
It's
went
not
to
what you
prison.
think.
It's
not
not-
clickbait.
Prison. Poison. Tell us about the time you went to poison.
So, for college we need to do work experience, and Addiewell,
Can we use the name?
yes, there shouldn't be any issues there with that. Because
If
it's not like people can go and get in.
unless no.
So at our local prison,
Go up to your local.
it sounds weird, so I'm just gonna call it what it is, which is Addiewell.
Alright.
They set up a radio station called Changed Waves, and basically the intention behind it is it to be run by the residents, which is what they call inmates, prisoners. But because it only started in like October, they don't really have that much in terms of shows, in terms of content or whatever. So that was fortuitous for us because it meant that we could come in and basically provide them content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went up on Saturday, which was 4 days before today, and we recorded a couple of music shows for them. I think when we go back next time, we're going to do a couple of podcast episodes from there just to sort of give them talk show content, because I think that's kind of what they're more wanting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully that time we can get you there,
Yes,
Melina,
hopefully
because
you're
see,
able
yeah.
to.
for context,
come along.
only me and Michael were able to do it
Yes.
because Melina was busy.
Yes,
As
you were
always.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was both working and I think I had like plans for either dinner or brunch.
Yeah. We did ask.
We did ask.
Yes. You just picked the worst fucking day.
It was the only day that the person who runs the radio station could accommodate us for the whole month, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting.
It was.
You clearly. Well, you hadn't done radio before, which is different from podcast, especially when it comes to doing like music shows.
I can imagine, yeah.
But you also, as I discovered, can't talk about music.
Yeah.
We've done an episode
We
on
have.
music, and
This
it was
man was the most useless person. He would introduce a song and just say the name and the artist, and then I'd be like, "Oh, okay," and have to bring it in. You didn't really.
Basically, what you were doing though as well.
No, I'd usually give some sort of lead up to it,
Still.
and then I'd go into more detail when we were done.
I tried to go into lead-ins, but
like, it's
apparently
his
I didn't
first
do it well enough.
time. Give the boy a break.
But yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
that was fun. Ish. It was
Here,
fun.
and here I was. I thought I had a fun time doing that, and I thought I had done relatively well. But
you
apparently
did,
not.
You did well when we were having conversations, but I think when you had to kind of take the lead on your own stuff, obviously,
yeah.
you know, it's more about experience than anything else.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying never do it again. It's just, you know, you haven't done it before, and it's different from what we do.
I'll be
here.
writing a very strongly written letter after this, talking about my grievances of this conversation.
That I will swiftly ignore.
I will pass it to you, and you will swiftly crumple it up and throw it in a bin.
Yeah.
Read it to him the next radio program.
No.
And then I'll cut it out.
Yeah, that's why.
Slowly, music starts playing over it.
Just slowly bring the fade.
Right, hey, don't cut me off.
Goes on full Kanye style.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Please not. We can't say Kanye style anymore because that means something very
Yes.
much worse now.
What the journey that man has been on.
Oh.
Oh god, that all happened when we weren't recording.
Yeah.
Dude needs his meds.
Do we know where he is yet? Is he still missing?
He's missing?
He just like disappeared for a
Yeah.
while and no one knew where he was.
Oh.
I feel like we get updates on him being missing. I feel like, was he at the Grammys maybe?
I don't know. I don't
Probably
pay
not.
attention to the Grammys.
Okay,
Our
Sean,
quick-
can you Google where's
our quick
Kanye?
research team is currently searching this at this moment. So give me a moment.
It's just all his. I don't want to say after he divorced fucking Kim Kardashian of all people, he went insane, but that's what he did.
Kind of, yeah.
And I'm assuming that's just the Kardashians, their PR team, letting him go
Yeah.
and being like, I can't deal with this shit anymore.
Yeah. Like he would have been reined in because it wasn't just his rep
Exactly.
on the line at that point, whereas now
I'm seeing two types of articles right now.
Oh, good.
A lot from like a month ago saying he's been pictured for the first time after
Being
supposedly
missing.
missing.
Okay, so he's appeared.
And there's another type of article right here that says Kanye West's attorneys cut ties with him.
Shocking. No.
I mean, you know, when you post that,
Finally served by a law firm trying to dump him as a client. So I don't think it's going very well in
no, I mean
Kanye's
when
world.
you post a swastika with the Star of David,
Yeah. Things ain't gonna go well for you.
no.
So he seems to have been found. But,
Yeah,
you know.
which also had the caption of maybe maybe Hitler had the right idea or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like, oh,
Jesus
Take that
Christ.
quote out of context.
oh, that's
Yeah.
quite the statement there, Kanye.
Oh, yeah.
I just have to think he's just going insane.
I mean,
But
yeah, you can
Yeah.
always tell when he's not on his meds,
Yeah, fair enough.
and it's usually when he's gonna bring out a new album.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Like, you know what artists do? They get in a bunch of like drama, or it's like, are they dating who before an album or a movie drops?
Yeah.
It's- at this point, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, can we just?
Can you just do a fucking press conference like normal
can we just-
people?
ugh, yeah,
Drama queens.
yeah.
Did you see that thing like because Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox are married now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they're married now.
Yeah, and did you see the thing about them like drinking each other's blood or something
Oh,
like that?
I remember hearing about
Oh
this.
yeah, because they have just some weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Which, you know, when you're like, if there's one couple I don't want to hear about, it's them. Because every time I hear something, I didn't want to know that.
Yeah,
It's
no,
kind of
it's
like
the
Will
same.
Smith and his wife. Every time something comes out, I'm like, I didn't want to fucking know this.
I don't see anything about Will Smith now though, mainly
Yeah.
because
No.
of what happened.
after the whole Oscars thing, I think
Yeah.
his PR team was like,
He's gone
"Let's
quiet.
go."
Yeah, which you know, maybe a good call.
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
probably.
But I also feel like it was his PR team that
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
Maybe. We don't know.
yeah.
We don't know.
We can't confirm nor deny.
No.
Exactly.
I think. Yeah, I don't know what to think of that whole situation though. Still,
The slap.
The slap.
The slap, yeah.
I think, what is it, 10 years or something he's barred from the Oscars?
don't
I'm like,
know.
Something about that,
God.
yeah. I remember
Yeah.
being barred. I think it's about 10 years.
yeah. But then there's also like no real repercussion for Chris Rock for saying something
'Cause
that
it's
maybe
all-
crossed the line.
Because, like, there are so many sides to the story. Because, like, allegedly his wife has alopecia, but
Yeah.
then it's also been known that she was never diagnosed with it, and she just says she has it.
Uh-huh.
So people are like, oh, you get diagnosed with these things, so you could possibly, maybe, for all I know, go on medication and all those things. So people are like, yeah, but she might be lying for all I know. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no reason for me to not believe her. And then there's people's like, she made him do it. She made him do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I think for him to take the step, even if his wife asked him to, was too much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Maybe if it had gone down like a, more civil approach, where he said, "No, I didn't. We
If
didn't
he
really
just
appreciate
yelled,
that
shut
joke
the
afterward."
fuck up
Yeah.
during it would have been better.
Yeah. Better than, assault.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how someone can take a stage. First, this reminds me of the whole Kanye 2009 VMAs.
Oh, when he
yeah.
got up and interrupted
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, poor girl who's 19 at the
Jesus.
time,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
a child, and
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
very young. And this
From
man
our
just
perspective
walks
now,
up.
a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
Which she's also commented on with some of the people she dated around that time. They weren't maybe the best choices.
Some Mr. Mayor. But yeah, like, I don't understand what's up with people getting up on stage and just doing whatever the fuck they think is right.
Yeah.
No, it's not your moment.
But I think, when you're someone who has that caliber of name, you can get wrapped up in your own well, not necessarily
Possibly,
ego, but your own hype.
Yeah.
And I think someone who has been around and has been like a household name for as long as Will Smith has, it's maybe a case of head empty.
Head empty, go for it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think because for someone like that, they can maybe perceive themselves as being invincible.
Or like people will
Maybe,
always be
yeah.
on their side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Will Smith. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, like that's probably what he's thinking. He's like, I'm Will Smith. I am in the right.
Yeah.
I'm the
This-
one who's being.
Let's say someone of equal star power, like Tom Hanks. Everyone loved Tom Hanks.
Everyone would have been on Tom Hanks' side
Yeah. Because he's Tom Hanks.
because he's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Because he's never.
He's never done anything.
No.
Like, the worst he's done, I think, is like ask paparazzi to go away in a
Yeah.
rude way, which
Yeah.
I don't think anyone should get cancelled for saying anything to paparazzi unless it's a
Oh,
fucking
yeah. No,
slur
no.
or some shit.
Because I
but-
remember seeing someone. Oh, I think it was Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I was gonna say this reminds me of Tobey Maguire because
Yeah.
there's like videos of him very angrily shouting at
Yeah.
paparazzi.
Yeah,
and
because
stuff,
there
but
was
he's never
one-
been cancelled. for
No,
it.
because there was one time where he kind of was like, he was trying to go to work and he gets in the car and they're surrounding the car and he's
He
like,
can't go,
get out of the
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And he shouts at them and they were like, oh my God.
He
Oh
shouted.
my
I've
God.
been attacked.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because I think I remember Jonah Hill. He was like followed around and he was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to have it. Called someone, like the paparazzi, an F slur, went on the show next day. Was like, I just want to clear the air. Like, I am so sorry. Like I think paparazzi can get you on such an edge that
Yeah.
will make you say things you probably don't mean.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
defending anyone using a slur or anyway, but it's. I can understand that
Yeah.
part of stardom is the worst.
Oh,
fucking shit.
100%. And like anyone who's been in the kind of that light for, acting out when paparazzi are involved, there's a slight understandability to it that I think most people tend to forget about.
Yeah.
Because you got to think they are followed by these people day in and day out. No
Every
matter
time
what
they
they're
leave their
doing.
house, there will be someone that
Yeah.
knows about it.
Oh yeah.
And just feeling watched, I think,
Uh-huh.
is the
Constantly.
worst. Like, it's not even the fact, they're taking pictures. It's they're all staring me down.
Yeah, because here's an interesting one. I follow one of the Gallagher brothers' daughter on Twitter, Aeneas Gallagher, who is just a normal person.
Yeah.
She is a student. She does art or whatever. So, she's not in the limelight,
Yeah.
but she's constantly followed by paparazzi.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, and it's like,
not
what the
nice.
fuck's up with that?
It's not right.
No.
Because even like Z-list celebrities get followed.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a thing in like LA Hollywood culture
Mm-hmm.
that people call the paparazzi on themselves, which I'm like, that is hilarious.
There's like a thing where some of it's like a marketing thing where,
Of course.
you know, the whoever represents that actor will say, oh, they're here so we can get
Yeah.
some publicity shots because they have a movie coming out or whatever, and we can get some nice, you know, oh, hey, I'm such a normal person.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm a
Like,
human
look,
being.
I'm
Yeah.
having dinner
Yeah.
with the person. It's like, oh, so casual.
With the Richardsons.
Yeah, you're totally not totally ready for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I've seen influencers, because people film it, because they're like, ooh, an influencer. And they do the most hilarious posing, like short,
Yeah.
slow walk, you know. Like, you called these people. Because if you didn't, you would be like, fuck off. Like, I'm trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of shots I see of Billie Eilish leaving the gym or going to the gym, and I'm like,
Can we not?
can those have to
Nice.
be staged?
Yeah.
I think so. Like, they can't be just there all the
They
time.
probably camp out.
Probably, but at the same time, you know, when you have the sort of team that she would have, you can stop those photos from being publicized.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. There's a slight kind of, I'm in two minds of all of this situation when it comes to paparazzi. Yeah, it's fucked up that they constantly follow people, but at the same time, some of it, it's like, how much of it is real?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think there should be more laws on it, because whenever anyone says anything about it, like, oh, it's illegal, no, it's a public road, it's like, it's fine, all this. And
Yeah.
Like, I know they're legally in the clear, but I think there should be limits
It
to
should
it.
be an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, like
100%,
realistically.
yeah.
and to an extreme they'll even scream like, you know, freedom of the press and stuff, you're trying to oppress us. In extreme
The
cases.
paparazzi
Yeah.
are not pressed.
I know.
I'm sorry, they're not.
I
And
know,
if they
but
think
in
they
extreme
are-
cases they,
They
yeah,
will
no,
use
no,
that.
100%.
Yeah.
I know that, but you know, they need a reality check
Yeah.
when
yeah.
they think they are pressed, because they're not. They're not reporting
Nah.
on anything substantial.
Nah.
We don't need to know the in and outs of a celebrity's life.
Nah.
No, exactly. I don't need to know what smoothie they bought,
No,
when and
Exactly.
where.
I don't need to know what they were wearing on Tuesday afternoon when they were going to get the paper.
Fuck if I care.
Yeah, fuck if I care.
Let people
I'll tell you
live
what
their
I was
fucking
wearing.
Oh, the New York Times.
The failing
trusted
New
them.
York Times. I'm glad he's not talking much anymore with fucking Donald Trump. That's the
let's
thing,
not.
though. We're in 2023, which means we're going to be on the election cycle again soon.
Yeah, because America starts that way too early.
Yep.
And don't you also have midterm?
Midterms have been and gone.
Yeah, that was
Midterms
in
were
November.
last
Oh
year.
yeah, fuck, I forgot. Jesus Christ.
Which were relatively
A relief.
other than what's his face, McCarthy.
Yeah, other than that whole
ordeal.
debacle, but that was after like the actual election. That
Yeah,
was,
but
like,
that
a
was,
month
you know,
ago.
they needed to confirm a new
Yeah,
Speaker
yeah.
of the House, and that took how
yeah.
many attempts?
15.
15.
I remember that whole thing.
I just remember the headlines. I'm like, we're still working on this?
Yeah, I remember I went to work and it was at 3, and I think when I left it was at 13, and I'm like, what the
Oh my
fuck?
God.
For context, also for Melina, because I didn't do this in the WhatsApp, but I did do this in our Discord server. I
Yeah.
was sort of like not fully commenting over, but like lightly just updating, like they're on vote 11. So I was sort of just like posting like about that in like our Discord server. Not too much. You didn't miss
I
anything.
don't, it doesn't sound like I missed anything.
I was at
Nah.
work, so there wasn't engaging
It was
conversation
just
No,
over
no,
it.
I-
10, 11.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of the stuff I post in our Discord server is stuff I just want to talk about.
Yeah.
And you're going to be forced to listen to
Yeah,
it.
I do that too, though.
Yeah, it's a mutual thing.
Yeah.
But like, eventually, it was like non-stop for like a day. It was just like, vote 13, give it up for vote
Yeah.
13.
Oh,
I
God.
laughed more and more every single time.
But yeah, the midterms went relatively smoothly
Yeah.
for the longest time. I think there's
Yeah, 'cause
usually been something.
If I don't hear much about it, I'm
Yeah.
assuming it went smoothly.
A standard midterm thing is that it's always somewhat deep negative for the
running party.
I was gonna say ruling party, but
Yeah.
in America, I'm not sure if that's the right
No,
term.
no, the current party, I guess, is what you could say.
Yeah. The party doing shit.
Yeah.
It's not normally a net loss.
The incumbent party.
The incumbent party. That's
the best term
That's the
to use.
official word, I guess you could put.
It's always like a good and always like a bad negative towards like them.
Yeah,
but
they're more likely to lose control of the House and the Senate.
I think it's usually the House.
The House.
I have no fucking clue.
This is the thing. American politics has too many different tiers of systems.
Because like
Yeah.
I'm not a big expert, but if I remember right, like each state has like a certain number of representatives in the House that are like sort of representative of their population, but even then, electoral college fuckery, it's hard to really decide. But in the Senate, each state gets 2 seats.
Yes.
No matter what. So the Senate can be a bit weird in that sense, but like so the House is where power shifts happen more often.
I guess it's sort of like our Parliament in that sense.
Yeah,
I
in a
suppose.
sense.
Though ours don't shift halfway through the fucking site. I mean, okay, no, I'm not going to get into it because I'm going to get angry at the fact that we have had so many prime ministers and we haven't had a general election yet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Moving on to the other politics.
Yes.
So, midterms have always historically been bad for the incumbent party, and polls suggested that there was going to be a big red wave, as the Republicans like to call it. And then the midterms happened, and that didn't really happen.
Oh, it didn't. I think there was only like a couple of gains.
It was more like a small splash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, given the Republicans sort of imploding in on themselves during the Trump era, isn't exactly the biggest surprise.
Yeah. Also, the fact that like a huge like factor in why so many people kept voting Dem this time was Roe v. Wade.
Oh yeah,
That was a huge issue.
I also think because of Trump, there's been a much larger push to getting people more engaged in voting.
Yeah.
Because I think, there was that whole thing after Trump became president. It was like, oh, you need to go out and vote. And I think it was getting people in the mentality that it's not just the presidential election you need to be out and voting in. It's a constant thing. You need to keep on top of it because the other side are on top of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's, I feel
they
like
know how to play the game.
Yeah. So I feel like we're swinging things back to a more level approach.
A little bit more stable.
Yeah.
Still a mess.
Oh,
yeah.
100%. But
There are
we don't
deep
have
cracks, but
we don't have a walking white nationalist, whatever the fuck Trump is. Certainly not human being.
A sort of orange ball of seething rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't see him getting the nomination.
I'm just so
this
done
time.
with these old fucking men that are falling apart.
I'm gonna be honest. I still think he has enough swing that he might just get the nomination.
He might.
In like the party anyway.
I want to hope that he doesn't get it. I don't think he will, because at this point I feel like we would be seeing more of him.
There's also the scary thing though that like his base and like his party of like supporters are sort of shifting to someone with the same ideas.
Oh, great.
But younger?
Yeah, like I forget his name, but he's like the governor of Florida right now. Has sort of been making a DeSantos.
Yeah,
Oh,
DeSantis.
DeSantis, yeah. He's sort of moving in on that sort of base, and
because all we need is the Floridian Trump.
yeah, exactly. And the scary thing about him is like he's not Trump in the sense that like he has an aura of knowing what he's doing at the same time, which is scary.
Yeah. I think if there's anything, that's depressing to find that out.
Yeah, sorry to bring that up.
But I think if there's anything positive to look at for the Republican nomination is that the conditions that led to Trump's nomination the first time round cannot be replicated anymore, because it was all to do with the fact that CNN, all the big news stations, just for the longest time were showing his speeches unedited, uninterrupted,
just
the whole thing.
So much
publicity.
Yeah, which must have cost millions.
Well, it
No,
did.
it wouldn't have cost him millions because
Yeah, well, yeah.
they were running that anyway.
Yeah, not him first, but it did cost millions.
Oh,
like,
it would cost millions in terms of like, but that was all free publicity that he got.
Jeez, yeah.
And so it wasn't until he started gaining traction and people realized, oh, maybe he's not the best candidate.
yeah.
So let's not do that. But by that point, the damage is done.
Exactly.
There's also the factor of possible Russia interference.
Possible Russian
We don't know.
which now
interference.
America appears to be somewhat more on top of.
Yeah, well,
I'm not saying it's not there anymore
Yeah.
because of course it is, but you know.
I would also be surprised if they had if Russia currently had the resources to stage
Yeah.
something like that again.
Given what Russia is now currently occupied with.
Yes.
Yeah. In other news this week, balloon.
Balloon! Balloon! You didn't know about the balloon?
Oh, the fucking China balloon.
Yeah, the weather. I'm putting quotes
The
here.
weather
balloon.
I kept seeing like random notifications pop up at work on Sunday.
Wanna know how I kept up to date through this news story?
How?
It became a running joke on r/Simpsons shitposting,
Oh my god.
which became a politics sub so fast I didn't even notice.
Wow.
So I learned of its existence through that subreddit and it being shot down by that subreddit.
Wow. I saw it come through from Sky News while I was working and I was like, sure, whatever. And then I got maybe 4 or 5 other updates and then I got the update of it being shot down and I'm like,
What the fuck?
sure.
It's just one of those things where you're like, have you heard about the balloon?
This is the thing, because I was at work, I couldn't be engaged in the social media
fine.
side.
Yeah.
So I had no idea this became a
You missed
thing.
the balloon.
The balloon. There's a second balloon. Balloon. There's one over like Latin America as well right now.
Yeah, there's I think there's one near like in Australia as well.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
I love how everyone just calls them mysterious balloons, and the US was like Chinese spy balloon.
Yeah,
Spy
that was the totally baffling thing about it. I'm like, of all the ways to spy on
You see,
somewhere,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is weird
it
for
might
me.
be stupid enough.
that's
the thing.
that's the thing actually.
I
Yeah,
don't know if this is stupid for me. Just think this, but I wouldn't put it past them.
No,
that's actually fair.
it's the fact that like they would have said something if it was a weather balloon before.
Yeah.
It's like China. What's this? Weather balloon.
It's a balloon.
It's a
It's a
balloon.
weather
How
balloon.
did we know it was how did we know it was Chinese? Is the thing.
It came from China. I think.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it went like past Alaska and stuff.
The geography lined up, and then China sort of admitted it was theirs.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Balloon. Balloon. Balloon.
What fucking timeline are we living in?
The balloon timeline.
I'm just waiting for like 20 more to pop, and they're like, "What?"
I want a sea
balloon.
of balloons just engulfing the western
my
coast of
That's
America.
how war starts, with balloons.
Balloons.
Balloon.
Oh my god, we've hit an hour, and I
think we're
it's
done
time
with
to end
this
this
episode.
Yeah.
So the takeaway is Croissant and balloon. And that's been us.
Yes.
That's
Monkey
all
brain.
we've got to add.
Join us next time on Napcast, where
It will be worse.
yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.